Today I'll compare the Vigorous EA and the Sharpshooter EA, two of the trading robots that perform extremely well in one of my $5,000 live accounts. I tested hundreds of EAs before finding these two, and I will show you the live results, how active the EAs are, and I have a special guest who will explain how the EAs work. Now let me drag and drop on my recording screen the MetaTrader platform where I have the Vigorous EA, the Sharpshooter, and there is a third expert advisor called Ranger, but I'll focus on the first two because those achieve really great results. So the Vigorous EA trades on Euro-Dollar on the M1 time frame, and the Sharpshooter is on M15. If I go back to the Vigorous, you will see how it opens and closes trades. Right here we have a short trade that opened with 0.02, then the price went up, another short trade opened with 0.02, and the price went even higher, and the third trade was opened with 0.03. Prior to that we had plenty of long consecutive trades. You will see that initially it opens with smaller lot and it increases slowly the lots as the price drops. And if I take the crosshair, you will see that these trades were closed on the 24th at 4:30 p.m. If I go to the account history and I arrange the trades by the time, here are all of these trades that closed at 4:30 p.m. You will see the maximum lot we had was 0.03. So the Vigorous EA uses some kind of a recovery system. When the price drops lower, it adds to the position and it adds to the position, but it's not an aggressive martingale system. Very similar thing we have with the Sharpshooter. So for example, you can see a few long trades in here and they closed at that point. And here we have 3 consecutive short trades that were closed just a little bit later. Now from the account history, it is very hard to see how these EAs perform. This is why I'll bring on the recording screen this track record, and here I have the Vigorous, the Sharpshooter, and the Ranger. You will see that I achieved a total return of 10.8% in this account, and Euro-Dollar is the most traded asset. If I click on stats, you will see that the profit factor is 1.68, but the monthly return is above 5%, and the average for each of these expert advisors is 2 to 4% a month, but when combined together it works just great. If I click on the strategy and I arrange the strategies by net profit, you will see that on the top is the one with the magic number 3, which is for the Vigorous, number 5 is for the Sharpshooter, number 2 is for the Ranger. So the Vigorous and the Sharpshooter are nearly the same. The Vigorous brought $255.47 and the Sharpshooter brought $245.86. However, we can notice a significant difference in the number of trades. The Vigorous had 771 trades and the Sharpshooter had 261 trades. So the Vigorous is about 3 times more active than the Sharpshooter. It makes more money, but the Sharpshooter brought nearly the same net profit with fewer trades. The profit factor is higher with the Vigorous, 2.03, with the Sharpshooter is 1.5 and 1.65 for the Ranger, which is the third robot in the account. If I scroll a little bit right, I want to show you that the average trade with the Vigorous brings about 0.33 and with the Sharpshooter 0.94. And if I scroll a little bit more to the right, you will see that the average length for a trade for the Vigorous is 1.67 hours and for the Sharpshooter is 3.71, which means that the Vigorous just opens and closes trades faster. This is why there are more count of trades, more net pips for the Vigorous, and pip profit factor is also higher for the Vigorous. Now, if I go to the vendor's website, you will see that for the Vigorous EA, it says 2 to 4% a month, but when I combine the two, I have much better result. You'll see that it trades euro-dollar. There are on average 50 to 100 scalping trades, and we saw that it's very active. The recommended starting account is $5,000. Bear that in mind. While with the Sharpshooter, right in here, we see that the recommended starting account size is $3,000. Now, if I look at the track record from the vendor for the Vigorous EA, we will see that this account started in March 2021, and there was a drop of about 30% back in March 2023. Then there is a bit of a drawdown that recovered, and the account has been profitable since this moment. If I look at the track record of the Sharpshooter, you will notice that we have smoother equity line with a few drops, but those recovered. Basically, this account gained 100% starting in June 2022, and the Vigorous didn't reach 100%, and it started earlier, but maybe this drop back in 2023 slowed it down, and it will probably double the account in the next few months. But the Sharpshooter overall has a better performance in my opinion when I look at the vendor's accounts. However, both of the EAs come with 5-day demo. You can grab one for the Vigorous, you can grab one for the Sharpshooter, and if you don't want to risk any real money, I would suggest you look at a regulated broker like Eightcap. If you scroll down to the bottom, you will see all of the regulations the broker has, and you can start with a demo account so you won't be risking any real money. Just open a virtual account, download MetaTrader, put the 2 expert advisors with the free trial, and see which one works better for you. I'll leave link to Eightcap down below in the description. And I said that I have a special guest today who will answer a few questions, and that is Ryan, the developer of the Vigorous EA and the Sharpshooter EA. So let me ask him the following questions. Hey Ryan, welcome and nice to have you on the channel.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Let me go straight to the point for our viewers.
Okay.
Can you tell us more about how the Vigorous EA works and why it's more active?
Yeah, I designed the Vigorous about 4 years ago in 2021. And, I was looking for a scalping strategy, to build a scalping strategy. I hadn't done one before, and kind of accidentally came across a combination of indicators. The Vigorous uses custom indicators that I found online, but they're pretty unusual. And I found this combination of 2 signal indicators and a filter that took, it was like, in my back test, it was like 100,000 trades in like 10 years or something. And so I was like, this can't be real. And so I did back tests in MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5, just to see how accurate this thing was over a long period. And it kept back testing profitably. And so I was shocked. It was almost an accident how I found this combination. And it takes like 10 to 20 trades a day. It's really active and only looks for 3 pips profit each trade or each basket of trades.
I saw it having a few hundred trades for like 70 days, which is really, really a lot. So you're saying there are 2 indicators that should confirm each other, and there is a filter that you are using as well.
Yeah, so there's basically 2 signal indicators. So when one hits an extreme situation on the Euro US dollar M1, so the 1 minute time frame, then it will take a signal, and it has 2 different ones. They're fairly similar, and they look for a similar criteria to be met before entering the market. But they do take these trades with the 4-hour trend. So that's why it's pretty good when the market is trending. It can actually take these trades with it. And when that trend actually stops and it changes direction when it's in trades, it will pause the grid or the multi-order situation that the algorithm does, and it will pause those trades until the trend comes back. So that it's basically like a safety net for the algorithm if that trend is abruptly changed.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. The second question is, tell me how the Sharpshooter works and how it makes nearly the same profits as the Vigorous with fewer trades.
Sure, yeah. So after I created the Vigorous, I was like, all right, I'm on to something here. I think I can create more scalping strategies for the EU. And the Sharpshooter came out about a year later. And I was pretty pumped about this one because it takes more profit than the Vigorous each trade. So it looks for anywhere from 5 to 10 pips each trade or trade sequence or basket. And so that's why, it's kind of comparable to the Vigorous because it's taking more pips each trade. But it doesn't trade on the M1 timeframe. It trades on the M15. But it has, I think, 3 different signal indicators that are looking for different types of things to be met in the market. It also uses a trend filter, but this one is actually using a daily time trend filter. And so it's looking for the much larger trend. And so you'll see it taking only sell trades for weeks and maybe even a month in some cases because it has that trend filter on the larger time frame.
All right, cool. So on the Vigorous, you're using M1 with H4 filter, and with the Sharpshooter, it is M15 with the daily.
Daily. Mm-hmm.
Right. That could be useful for the people who are trying to develop EAs themselves, and they might look for such opportunities. And the third question is, if you were to pick one of the two, which would it be?
Okay, yeah, I like both of them, and
they are your EAs. You are supposed to like them.
My choice is the Sharpshooter, and it's because, and the biggest difference is it has an adaptive stop loss, where it will change its stop loss based on what the market is doing. And this will be a bit of a preventative stop loss. So you'll see it close trades a little bit early in some cases, and the biggest stop loss in 3 years that it's shown on its track record was 4%. And so that adaptive stop loss is usually pretty small. And it recovered that 4% in about 6 weeks of trading after that. And so this gives you a pretty good idea of the equity and balance growth of this strategy over the long term. And it has really low drawdown in comparison to the Vigorous. So the Vigorous is more active, it takes more trades, but it also it's more exciting to watch, basically. If you're really a trader that wants to see trades go in and out every single day, like 10 to 20 times, then the Vigorous is that kind of strategy. The Sharpshooter will still take maybe 5 to 10 trades a day, a little less active, but they're taking a bit more profit, and it includes that adaptive stop loss, which is great for protecting your account.
That's interesting. And recently you launched as well the Powerhouse EA. And I didn't have the time, to be honest, to test it until the moment. Can you tell us a few words about it? As what I saw on your website, it's a combination between the Vigorous, the Sharpshooter, and a few more EAs.
Sure, yeah. The Powerhouse, it basically combines all of my best strategies into one algorithm. And it runs for MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5. And I'm currently using 4 out of the 6 included strategies, the Powerhouse. So that's the Vigorous, the Sharpshooter, the Ranger, and the new EVA scalper as well. And the combination of these 4 strategies are pretty powerful.
So it's pretty much like what I have in my 5K account, because I have the Sharpshooter, the Vigorous, the Ranger, but I don't have the EVA, what you just said. So I'll have a look at it. And what about the other 2 that are in the Powerhouse?
The Comeback Kid. The 6th one is the Crackerjack. The Crackerjack also trades on the EU. And what's cool about the Powerhouse is you can run all 6 strategies on the same account at the same time. And when one strategy is like one scalper, like Vigorous, is trading the EU, the Sharpshooter won't be trading the EU in the same direction at the same time. But if it gets a signal in the opposite direction on the EU, then it will take that trade as well. So I do this to try to make sure that the account's not getting overexposed and traders can use multiple strategies on their account at the same time.
Right. Okay, thank you very much. And do you have a track record, or you're launching it soon as you have some results from the Powerhouse EA?
So I've decided to run the Powerhouse in a slightly different way than running all 4 of my strategies on the same account at the same time. Okay. I've chosen to split my total algo trading balance into 4 different accounts. So each account is running, or each strategy is running 25% or trading 25% of my total algo account balance. And so I'm putting each on their own account, running it on high risk. And I'm doing this because when a strategy has a stop loss, it's not hitting my account as heavy. And so I'm still making a profit of 3 to 5% across my total 4 strategies on their 4 accounts. And my stop losses are no more than 7.5% total. So it seems to be the best way to get a medium level of percent of profit, 3 to 5%, with a low risk type of stop loss.
Right. So you're saying that if I get the Powerhouse, I can actually trade on different accounts, each of the strategies inside. I don't necessarily need to put all of them in one account.
Yeah, you can do that, but the Powerhouse allows a trader to use up to 5 accounts at the same time. So this kind of way of trading is also a smart idea to kind of split each strategy into its own account, so it can trade by itself. And this way, when you're trading like this, the strategy can take all available trades instead of when you're running all 6 together. They have to wait for each other to kind of close out trades, and you're not getting quite as much profit from each strategy.
Yeah, I get the point. Okay, that answers all of my questions. I really thank you for joining, and I hope we will see more profitable EAs from you in the near future.
Thanks for having me on your channel, and keep making a profit.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. And if you guys want to see more EA vendors on the channel, if you want to see me reviewing and testing more expert advisors, just subscribe. This will help me a lot, and you will get notified whenever I upload a new video. Until then, I wish you safe trading, but before you go, check out this video on my side, because you will learn more about another EA I am trading. As always, I love you, trade safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!